Welcome back. Welcome back. Another episode of the season's grade series. We're attempting to get every single NBA team out by the play-in, so it's going to be a tough one, but we're going to try our best. We got the T-Wolves.
That's how you'd be wobbling if I hit you with the jab cross.
Nigga, please watch out.
Just throwing that out there.
Let's just get right into it here. We got Anthony Edwards starting us off. He deserves a A grade for me this season. I couldn't give him an A+. I think he deserves an A. Let me just get there. He's averaging a career high in assists, free throw attempts, free throw percentage. I think those are all things that if you look back at his past seasons, he wasn't getting to the line enough for his size. He wasn't assisting and being a primary ball handler, getting everyone else involved as much as we would have liked. And I think he's done all of those things. And he's up to 26 points a game now. And it's just one of those seasons that you start to see a guy really becoming amongst the NBA's elite. And I just hope come playoff time, we get to see some heroic Ant performances. And I know Cat's probably going to miss the first round, but he's expected to be back at the start of the first round. But I just hope this team can get a nice deep playoff run because I do actually have a lot of fun watching them, even though Rudy Gobert is not my favorite player. But
I think you're doing it dirty there. I mean, this guy's younger than some players in the tournament. He's an MVP candidate. He deserves an A+. He's got the team on his shoulders. He's doing everything for them. Defensive plays in the clutch, offensive plays in the clutch, scoring on multiple levels, creating for his teammates at the highest clip he ever has.
I think coming into the season, we expected these things, but he's doing it
better. No,
not
like this.
Not like this. Fair enough. Fair enough. We can bump him up to an A+. That's fine.
What they said, I want to see how you carry yourself this season in the playoffs. You know, I think that moving forward, before you can get any plus sign from me solidified, I need to see the execution because I know that
season great.
but the season ain't over in that case.
We want to see it.
Season ain't over in that case. You know what I'm saying? Like they made it to the first round last year, and I know, but like I'm with it.
Yeah, I just think that this is. I think coming into the year there wasn't really much expectations as a team for the T-Wolves, but coming into the playoffs and next season there's going to be expectations. So I'm curious to see how he responds. I think he will respond well.
He's a dog.
I know. But we'll move on to KarlAnthony Towns. I hope he gets back soon. I'm giving him an A-. I think his numbers aren't off the board crazy, really good. But if you look and you watch the T-Wolves, how he plays for this team now compared to how he did in the past is night and day. He's on 42+% from three on 5.5 attempts a game, which if you're running two bigs like Rudy Gobert and Cat, you need your four to be able to consistently hit shots from the outside. And KarlAnthony Towns is probably the best big man shooter in the league. So you get that. And one of his biggest issues is he's never been a really good defender. And especially now playing the four, there's multiple instances where he gets switched onto by guards and smaller wings where he's used to be susceptible to getting beat. But I looked at his defensive box plus minus. He's up 1 point compared to the average NBA player. So if you're getting above average defense from KarlAnthony Towns, especially in the matchups that you're asking him to give you, is really, really good. And all of these numbers are coming on a career low minutes in just over 32 a game. So doing all of this in that limited span while impacting winning as much as he has, he deserves an A- from me because Cat has always been up and down. And I think this is the first season where we've really seen him just be consistent and actually help a team to win.
Shout out the Big Purr jersey in the house. Yo, this guy's really putting it together this year. Really putting it together. This is the guy everyone was looking forward to, and Matt kind of took my main point there with the minutes. But the fact that he's played this well on low minutes, put him in there for – you all right over there? Put him in there for 40 minutes a game and see what happens, bro. I really want to see him play playoff basketball. He's been doing the most. Like, I don't know. He's had an exceptional season. I would have put him at a straight A.
He was hooping in FIBA last summer, if you were paying attention. And I expected this from Cat. So, you know, that's all I got to say. Be able to stay healthy and, just keep it going.
Yeah. This one pains me, really does. But Rudy Gobert, I'm giving him an A-. It really pains me to do it. It does. It really does, because I really do not like Rudy Gobert. But I'm going to be an honest man here. I'm going to be an honest man here. He's going to win Defensive Player of the Year, although I do think it should be Wemby. But he's going to win the award. He's leading the number one defense in the NBA by a wide margin. They're like 3-4 defensive rating points ahead of the next best team. And just doing what he's doing defensively, just altering shots, changing people's angles, just being a pest on the glass, averaging 13 rebounds a game, is just one of those things that, as much as I think he gets toasted by some of the league's best, where you expect him to really shine, he's doing all of this, and it's really impacting how this team is playing and winning. And I have to give him his flowers at an A-, which is tough for me to do, but I'm an honest man. He's having a really, really good year.
I got nothing to say about Rudy. Matt put it perfectly. I'm going to let Matt bask in the glory of having to give Rudy an A-.
It's not glory.
I think it's earned and deserved.
Fact, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I think Rudy's been great, man. It's tough. I think he's been good for them. I don't think I would
one
take
of the best weak side defenders of all time.
True. He's just you can funnel everything to him, and that's the biggest thing. And I think that's why his defense has looked as good as it has. And they used to do it with the Jazz, but I think it's also the ability to have a guy that we're about to talk about, Jaden McDaniels, being able to have a premier wing defender going into Rudy Gobert is just a disaster for offenses. But Jaden McDaniels, I'm giving him a B. I know he's had a good season, and he's had moments in like the Celtics game early in the season or the Cavs game where he hit some late clutch shots, but he's had slight regression offensively that I didn't really anticipate. He's down 6% from three, only at a little under 34%, and he's down 2 points per game. So I can't give him the A category. I just think his defense has been so good, and I think in the moments that it really, really matters, he's been hitting shots, and I think that's important. So I had to give him a B plus, either one. But
I think he deserves an A. And the stats slut to my left obviously is going to go pull out the numbies. He's been an offensive weapon, regardless of his shooting percentage. He's hit big shots in multiple games. And what Ant say? Oh, we got Jaden McDaniels.
It's true. It's true.
They love him over there. And the team
I love him. I do really love him. I just think that he's not had his best season I think he's had his best season, but by the numbers
are his most impactful season.
Yes, and I just think that I would have liked to see him improve and not kind of stay in the same realm. I think that there's some elements offensively that I would have liked to see develop. But
comments are not going to like that one.
I know they're not, but
I agree with B. In order for him to get that A, I think we would need to see the offensive production that I would say that he may be capable of, that I would closely relate to maybe a Jonathan Kuminga and how he, produces for the Warriors offensively specifically.
Yeah, but I think a B is fair. T-Wolves fans, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong there. I haven't watched all 82 or whatever of the T-Wolves, so I've seen games. But moving on to the vet of all vets, who I think was one of the more underrated gets of last season, Mike Conley, man. Unbelievably good season. I'm giving him a B plus. I honestly could bump this up to an A- just looking at this again, but averaging just 11 points per game. But that's not what's important. He's a career high in effective field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, field goal percentage. And it's just a vet that this team needs. And it's just, you're going to get consistency from him. And especially when you're working with a younger team that hasn't really been in playoff moments a ton late in the playoffs, or they've been in the first round a couple times, but late in the playoff runs and the conference finals and the semis, you need a guy like Mike Conley who's going to be able to dish it out and consistently hit shots for you. And I think he's been unbelievably good for them this year.
For real. His specific veteranship, I'll say, I think allows them to move the ball as well as they do. I would say that they move the ball pretty well. They're looking to swing it to the next man. And I think that's what can allow Minnesota to compete on the highest level coming up in these next few weeks.
His main thing for me is confidence. as the coach, you want to have a guy, especially with a young core, that you can put the ball in their hands and rest easy. And he's been that his whole career, but especially now that he's like a seasoned vet, he's even more so that way. You can put the pill in his hands. He'll take care of it. No bad turnovers. He'll make the right play. He'll score when he needs to. He'll pass when he needs to. He's a solid piece. And even at this old, ripe age of, what is he, 32?
Gotta be. I think he's older, man. I think he's like 34, 35.
Even if
But
he is, he could help any team right now. Just composure in the clutch. Great player to have on your squad. I'm real excited for this.
36.
Wow.
That's ridiculous, dude. I really just undersold him there. I'm real excited for this next guy.
Yeah. How do you know what the next guy is?
Because I already know. I feel it. I feel Big Jelly coming through the screen right now.
Yeah. I mean, Naz Reid is next up on the list. I'm giving Naz an A-. I think he is going to probably win Sixth Man of the Year. Career high points per game, 3-point percentage, rebounds per game, 3-point makes a game, 42% from the line. And I think the most important thing is, especially when you're running basically a 3-big system for majority of your minutes, you're going to have 2 bigs on the floor almost at all times, maybe not with Cat out, but you need a 4 that can stretch and create for themselves off the dribble or post up a little bit. And Naz Reid has taken what was a little inconsistent jumper that he hit in spurts and some flashy moves for Instagram to really efficient production. And it's a big, big reason why this team is sitting in the top 3 seed within very easily striking distance of the 1.
A+ for Naz Reid for me. He's been phenomenal this season. Anything that you could ask from him, any category that you could bring up, he's by far exceeded expectations. T-Wolves fans, I also think, are going to be sick about this grade. I mean, shooting the fuck out of the ball, creating on his own, initiating the fast break off the glass. I understand pushing the pace and just throwing it up, but he'll take it and just go. And the minutes he's played without Cat, their record has been so good. He's doing maybe the 3rd most on the team.
Yeah.
And I feel like that his game speaks for itself. I don't know if I mentioned this in this video. Go check out our Dallas video. But 39 and 11, come on now. That's production. That's big time, especially when it matters. And that's what helps that's what helps win games. And you know, his defense as well. You know, the whole team is number 1. So it's like, what can you do?
He's doing all the little things
He's
that
been
a team.
spectacular.
Yeah, he's been really, really good. I think he's been doing all the little things a team asks you to do, especially when you're competing for a title. These are the things you need. But last up,
I'm even more excited for this last guy. My guy.
Finn's player comp, Kyle Anderson, slow-mo. I'm giving him a B-. I just don't think that based on expectations, he's really exceeded or fallen short of. I think it's kind of what you expect from Kyle Anderson, some solid defense, some occasional meme moments, and solid just a veteran presence that you can have and a guy for other guys to rely on. When this team goes into the playoffs, he's just a guy that you want on your team. He's just one of those glue guys. And I think that's what is important for this team at the moment, for especially coming from Kyle Anderson.
He's been great this year. He's always a solid piece. He's the rook on the board. Very versatile. Always going to be there. Can always get out of trouble. Gets to his spots better than – I'm not going to say something crazy right now, but –
You're just hyping him up because he's your competent.
He gets to his spots, and you know – pace god. I'm the pace god. I couldn't respect his pace more. Anyone who wants to talk about players having slow feet or not moving fast or not jumping high, oh, does he put it in? Oh, word. Okay. So it doesn't look the same, but he produces the same. Huge Kyle Anderson guy. Really speaks to me.
And dog, too. That's what I'll say about it. You know, that's what that team has is, the tenacity, and he definitely shows up with it. I would say that he's one of the leaders, encourages the team, is very vocal, very passionate, very adamant about winning, you know what I'm saying, and doing whatever it takes to win. Shout out to Slow-Mo, that guy.
Yeah, and I'll make one last comment and we'll wrap it up here. Kyle Anderson versus George Yang like a few weeks ago was one of the highlights for the season. I mean, they were just going
duel.
They were just going back and forth, and that's me and Finn's player comp. So it was real good to see. But that's it for the T-Wolves. Let us know if you agree.
Put it in the bucket.
Wait.
Yes. I don't care how it looks.